Yes. So we are discussing about the HANA DB administration. So as part of this HANA DB administration, we have discussed about the hardware requirements. So hardware requirements, what are the hardwares we required, OS and file systems, their recommendations, all these things we discussed. And also the software recommendations we discussed. We need HANA DB software, mainly the client. If you want to install any other application, you need client. So any other add-ons or plugins you required on top of HANA, on top of the HANA database. So these are the things. Now we need to do the installations. We need to do the installation of the build the HANA database. So repository, the container, we have to build it. So what is the HANA database we are going to install it? So what is the current version? What is the previous versions? In the versions history, we already discussed, right? So currently the HANA DB version is the HANA 2.0 SPS07. So before that we have the 06 SPS06. SPS06 means support pack stack, right? So then 05, 04 and 03 and 02 and 01. So we have, these are the versions we have in the systems. These are the versions we have in the, so in the marketplace. So we are installing this one. Later sometime we will upgrade to the 6. Then after that we can upgrade to the 07. So latest version, which is released in the month of April. Okay, and which is released in the month of April. This got released. So now what we required, we have to download the software. Then after that we have to move to the applications. Sorry, to OS level. The softwares. Why? Because this is Linux, right? This is the Linux edition. So we cannot directly download here. So, but we have to download in our local desktops or laptops. Then from there, we can move the softwares to the Linux locations. We can move it. The Linux location, we can move it, right? The same time, so here, so we have downloaded the softwares in the last time we have downloaded the softwares, right? So IMDb server, HANA database server 059 means, so 0 SPS05 patch level 9 we have downloaded. Then we need to move to the, so how can we move means through WinSAP we can move. So select that softwares, select the softwares, then just drag and drop to the target location. Then the files will be copied into the slash media that will be copied, slash media that will be copied. So this is the way we need to transfer the files from the Windows to non-Windows operating systems. Windows to non-Windows operating systems. This is the way we have to. So this is the Windows to non-Windows operating systems. Okay. So Windows to non-Windows operating systems. So let's see, once it is completed, so then we have to do here. So OS, they have installed it. And also in the operating system side, there are some prerequisites. After the OS build, after you copied the softwares, whenever you start installing, sometimes the installation may fail due to some mandatory packages we have to install it. Mandatory packages. So what are those mandatory packages, right? So for the HANA, especially in the OS level, suppose how when we are doing the installation on the, when we are doing the installation on, suppose your Windows operating system, what that happens, definitely you need to install some Java, some other C++ libraries. You have to install it, right? In the Windows, suppose anything you want to install, first you need to install the, so C++ libraries, .NET runtime framework, all these things, some add-ons you need to install it on top of your operating systems. Same in the Linux also. So you cannot directly blindly go ahead and install it after the OS build. So there is some, so prerequisites, some packages we have to install. In the Linux word, we will call it as the packages we need to install. So also we have experience on this one. We know already experience in the weekend. We have seen this experience when you are installing the HANA database in the SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux. we came to know, okay, some packages we need to install it, right? If you plan in advance for installing these packages, you won't get any blockers, right? You can directly install it. So what are those packages here? So for the Linux, we require it's very important, GCC libraries, either 9 or GCC libraries you required. And also you require there is a one library, INS SRV. So INS, so INS SRV packages. So these are the two packages we required to install it in any operating systems. Okay, any operating systems we have to install it. So let's see. So it's installation, right? So normally our system automatically connected to the repository so that we can use the zipper. It is the Red Hat Linux. We need to use the yum. It's the SUSE Linux. You need to install the so just zipper command, zipper install GCC. Then it will check the retrieving the repository which is connected. Then it will check whether this is installed or not, what is the latest version it is installed, and what is the version. So we have SUSE Linux server 15. So that is, see here how it is retrieving the repository. So normally Windows we have to manually download it and manually download, and we have to install it. But in the Linux, you don't need to manually download it. In the Linux operating systems, there is a software repository. So we have to connect our systems to that repository. In that repository, you have the packages, so that whatever the package you are going to install it in the name of GCC, so that will be installed. That will check, and that will be so installed. See here, I just entered GCC. Then it is checking the GCC, all the media, building the repository. It is checking the GCC. Everything it is checking. Okay, once it is checking, so while it is checking the voice repository, so let's see, you can take the one session, duplicate session, same session I'm taking here, one more session. Our host name is the SAP HANA. Maybe if you type it SAP HANA host name, SAP HANA displayed. So we have media copied to the slash media we have copied. So we have the software, this is the software. So you need to extract it, right? You need to extract the software. So like that, how we extracted using the SAP car command, we have to do the extracted. But so there is some permission issue. So that ch mode, so 777, I'm giving the full permission. So then you can extract it. See here, that is getting extracted. So HANA database is getting extracted here. See here, is getting extracted. It is going to create the one folder. Under the subfolder, there are many packages are getting extracted. See here, in that package also we have the host agent. So you no need to separately download the host agent and install it. The host agent, it will come as part of the HANA package, right? HANA software, all HANA softwares comes with the .sar. So that .sar it will come, so that we can just use the -xdf, we can extract it. Okay, we can use and we can extract it. So I think here you can see here no update. So it's already highest version already installed, so we no need to install it. So let's see. So we have one more issue we will get, but there is a one more issue we will get. So let's see whether it will found in the repository or not. So what is the correct package name? Sometimes if you miswrite something like something, so like a different word, it won't check, it won't get. See here, not found in the package. So see here, it is trying to install it. This is not exist in our system. See here, this is not found in the package. So but there is one package, it is already, so it is one, do you want to going to install it? Okay, it is asking. So as I mentioned, so one is the GCC, then second one is the INS SRV compact. So suppose like maybe you can remember the first word, that is fine. So this libraries we have to install it. See here, it is going to be installed in our location, it is going to be installed. So it is going to install. You no need to download it and install it. So it is installed. Okay. So this package also installed. So let's see
Yeah,
once we
Ravi, one question.
yes.
So these are mandatory
Yes.
plugins we need to install
Yes.
for only
Mandatory.
HANA.
HANA is a
So
mandatory.
okay, for every data other databases we need to install these packages
Other
or only for HANA?
databases for only we are talking about the only HANA, right? It's only for the HANA. These are the mandatory.
Okay, okay.
Other databases it does not required, so it does not required, but especially for the HANA databases. So this is GCC 9 libraries and the compact library. It's very important. These packages we need to install it. Why? Because normally OS team they will directly hand over the system to us, right? OS team directly
Okay.
we will hand over the system to us. They will forget it, but they will forget to install this one. Or we have to inform to them, but they will forget it. In this case,
Okay.
when you are doing the installation may fail due to the packages not installed. We already have experience in the Saturday weekend, right? So
Yeah.
installation
Yeah.
got middle interrupted, something like that, because of the mandatory packages. So as part of the, we know already, so we may get the issue. So before itself, so we are fixing these issues, so that again we no need to do the rework and everything. So we have to install these packages, mandatory packages, Linux level, so that
Okay.
so the yeah, after that we can go to the HANA database software folder. Installation we can do three ways that we already know, like either the HDB LCM, GUI level, or browser level. Browser level also we can perform it. If you open the HDB LCM web, if we execute it, so then it will ask us to open the URL in the browser. See here, this is the URL we should open in the browser. Then open the browser. So here you can, if you execute.
One more thing, Ravi, one more thing. Have you did you download that SAP card.exe? That also it's a part of
No,
downloading of.
we have to download it, this car as well. First time we are doing the installation here in the Linux level, we don't have any other databases or any other binaries. So we have to download SAP car and SAP this IMDB server also we have to download it.
From SAP, right? Support.sap.
Yeah, service.sap.com.
Software.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, we have to download. So just I changed the port number. Let's see whether it will work or not. I think it won't work because of we need to disable the firewall. So system CTL. Okay. No, site is not connected. Connection refused. Connection is working, but let's see once again. That's why. So we recommended to do in the, so in the that mode.
Okay, CLI, right?
CMD mode. Otherwise, it's here it's connection problem.
Okay.
So to avoid this one, we can directly jump into the command prompt mode, which is recommended by SAP. Also, it's a preferable method using the command prompt mode. If you execute this one, so you can install it. See here. So what database version you are going to install it. So this is the dot slash. Anything in the Linux already you guys know, we need to put the dot slash and HDB LCM. So that just you click on the button. So we are going to install the new HANA database, right? Just click on the one. So then So it may fail it because of the signature file got the signature file missed. So that we can just ignore this one. This is the optional signature file. So that I am ignoring this one. Ignore. So then check underscore signature file. I am ignoring here. So that it will be ignored here.
Ravi, I think SAP HANA, we didn't created the partition with so slash HANA slash data.
It's not required actually. It's not required. Well, because it's a practice system, right? It's not required. So if you want, you can create it, not a problem. But it's not in the training systems. It's not mandatory in our case. Suppose it's not mandatory to in our case. We
No,
can
in real
create
time it is required,
real
right?
time. It's
Real time.
mandatory. It's required. Mandatory is
Yeah.
required. Otherwise, what happens? Everything will be created in the under the root only slash ana and slash ana data. Everything will create under the root folder only. So there is no harm. The installation will be installed. The thing is, what happens? We may get the if you get the space issues, we need to check where is the space issue, and also IO issues. We may get something like that, input output issues and bandwidth issues and latency issues. So that's why SAP recommended to have the separate mount points for the so all file systems, OS level file systems, file systems. So we have the separate mount point. So that's why, so we can do that one, or we can ignore that one also. But it's a mandatory to create the mount points in the when you are working for the customers. But here we
No,
have to create.
please tell the real time only, please.
In this case, we have to create the partitions now. So here I have
Yeah,
not
yeah.
created the partition. So partitions creation means it's not like we need again an extreme person to work on it here. So it will take time. I bring him again. Okay. So for now, we can practice it on here. So later offline, I will create the partition. Okay. Or if you want, you can create the partition. Not required.
Okay.
Again, if I have to create the partition again, entire class will take care of. Will go. So
Okay.
after the class, I will create the partition. Then I will inform you. Then you can do the part. You can practice it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So enter the installation path slash HANA shared. So whatever we discussed, the mount points slash HANA shared. So that is slash HANA shared. So host name. What is our host name? So in the bracket, you have already answer, right? In the bracket, you have already answers. So system automatically will take the recommended value. So this is our so slash HANA shared. Whatever that we discussed in the file systems, root is mandatory. Slash HANA data slash and data and slash and data and slash and log, then slash and shared. So
USR,
and
SAP,
USR USR
SAP.
SAP. So these file systems are mandatory for each host. These file systems are mandatory. So mandatory, but we are doing the it's not like that. So definitely we need to install HANA. It won't install it. HANA will create the party. HANA will create the subfolders and folders, everything. But only thing is, if you maintain the separately, you won't get any issues actually. The performance issues, latency issues, you won't get. So but we are just doing the multiple practicing multiple installation, right? So that's why, so I have not created the partitions. We can create it after the class. I will create the partitions. I will let you know, guys. Okay. So here installation path. So just same. So host name. So it's the same host name. Just click on the enter button. So do you want to add host to the system? No. So has to add host name means it's a scale out scenario. We have the two types of scenarios in HANA. Two types of scenarios. One is the scale up scenario. Second one is the scale out scenario. Scale up scenario, scale out scenario. So what is mean by scale out scenario, scale up scenario? Scale out means, suppose, so this is the one host. This is same as like in the SAP, we have the single distributed, right? Same as like here in HANA also, in the one Linux host, you can install the one HANA database, you can install it. So that is fine. That is the scale up environment, scale up up, right? And also if this tomorrow, if something goes wrong, so maybe we can increase the memory on the same host. We can increase the RAM slots and everything. We can increase it how much we want. We can increase it. We can stop the system. We can uplift the memory. So scale out scenario means it's like you have the one more host. So when you're doing this is a master host, this is a slave host. So when you are doing the installation on the master host, here you have the option. Do you want to add the system? Do you want to add the host to the system? Which is means, so you want to add one more host to the same HANA database. So which means some services will be running on the here, some services will be running on the here. So that in this way, both the hosted are distribute the load, and it will perform the work here. Just give me a minute. The system is not getting charged. This is called the, when you add the host, we need to provide the another ANA system, ANA host name, another ANA host name we have to provide it, so that few services, it will be divided, the load will be distributed. So that's the reason. So it's already in yes or no answer, it's already in the no. So that, so we are proceeding with this one. So what is the enter the DB host name, SID. So I have given the HDB HANA database SID. So that instance number 00, right? SID instance number, we already know these are the technical words, right? So local installation group. So there is a one group will be created. That is the default group will be created. So what is the usage of the system? By default, it's taken the custom. No, I want to go for the test. This is a test system. Then just you can select that two. So then enter it. So do you want to enable the encryption, data volume and log volume encryption? So what is mean by encryption means? What is mean by encryption means? So data, one copy of data, suppose if you take the example, so this is the main memory, RAM memory. So same, we have the file systems as well in the HANA database, right? File systems. So like slash HANA data, slash HANA data, and slash HANA log folder, slash HANA data, slash HANA log folder, right? One copy of data will store from main memory to here. One copy of the data main memory to here without any encryption. Encryption means the file will be encrypted, right? So once it comes to the here, it will not be encrypted. The passwords, everything will be visible in the passwords, the customers, the accounts, everything will be visible in the data folder, so that hackers can log in and they can do the hacking into data folder. If they hack the data folder, entire database will be hacked. So because data, one copy of data is storing into the from RAM memory to, so your file system level, one copy of data will be storing into the here as well. So that's the reason. That is the reason. So if they hack it, so they can visible the so data, the like confidential information. Suppose if you encrypt it, what happens? That is the mission encrypted mechanism, so that they cannot visible the passwords of many sensitive data. It mean to select sensitive data, right? Enter the location of the data value slash not data log. So that location we have entered log, that is we already entered. So that maximum restriction, we want to restrict the memory allocation. How much RAM memory is there? You want to restrict it. Suppose 40 GB is there, you want to restrict to 30 GB. Then you can just click on the Y, then provide the that much memory. So apply the size dependency resource limit. So click on the yes. So already it's taken the note. So do you want to host agent password? So host agent. So we have to provide the password of the host agent here. So that so it will ask the questions. We have to fill that form. So that, so after that HANA DB will get installed. HANA DB will be installed here. See here. So passwords. Like we have the host agent, SID, ADM passwords, operating system level, and USR SAP, login shell common, and user ID 1001, the group UID group, and sys group ID. So that is a UID, this is a GID 79, and database user passwords. So system also will getting create, system user also will getting created for the DB level, database level. So do you want to reboot the system? Do you want to reboot the restart the system after the reboot? As soon as OS is rebooted and back, HANA will be started automatically. You don't need to start it. If you choose Y button, it will be started automatically. So that's the reason we choose it Y, or you can just choose it no also. This is a summary before you execution. This is a summary. Just click on the Y button and enter it. Then see here, HANA database is getting installed. HANA DB is getting installed. So let's assume this is going to be installed. Otherwise, so if any packages are missed, so we may get the errors now. This package is not installed, something like that. We may get the issues. Okay. So this is the way we are doing the HANA installation. So when the HANA 2.0 installation is done, so we have one system DB, one tenant DB will be created. One system DB and a tenant DB will be created on the host. So in HANA Linux host, so we have installed this one system DB, and so tenant DB also we have installed system DB and tenant DB. This both will be created by default. Why? Because HANA 2.0 is the apartment concept, which means by default you will get the 1G ground floor and the +1 we will get. So it is in our language. In the SAP language, one system DB and one tenant DB will store in the TDB, means tenant DB will create it here. So after top of, if you want to create the one more tenant, you can create it. Just use the create command. It will create the one more tenant databases. It will create the one more tenant databases. You can create it. Depends upon your business requirement. You can create it. Each tenant databases, there is a data will be resides. Each tenant databases. So in the SAP HANA, when you do the installation here, you builded the house. Then the family members will come after building the house. What are those family members? We know, right? Index server, name server, 7 family members. Those family members will stay here. Those family members so will stay here. Kind of multi. This is called the multi-container. Multi means multiple databases we are installing on this host. That's why multi-container. Single container means only single database. In the HANA 1.0, 1 means single. So 2.0 means multi, right? So in the name itself, we have the multi and single container. Name itself, we have the single and the multi-container options. So that's the reason. So this is the multi-container option. See here, it is getting installed, I guess. So it's prepared the packages as a first step number 1. Then after that, it's extracting the softwares. Then after that, it's installing the packages. Packages are getting installed here. So suppose if any, while doing the installation, if you got any error, it will be crashed. Crashed means it will show the error message. What is the error and something like that. So the installation log files, here see the log files and trace files. So here we can find out in the where temp file, installation log files we can find out. It's one of the frequently asked question. Where can we find out the installation log file? This is the location at operating system level. As part of the installation, we will get the one operating system level user, one OS user, that is called the SID ADM user. The second one is called the DB user. One is called the system user will be created. Also here 7 HANA core process will be created, which means in our language family members. What are those 7 family members will be created here, right? So index server. So very important. So part of, yes.
So just a thing. So like initially you mentioned like you have installed 2 packages while before installation, right?
Yeah.
So like when installation progress, like if you missed any package to install, like in middle, like it will show you like which package needs to be installed, or if don't, like how can we find which package is
You got it right.
installed?
Yesterday you have shown the error message, right? In the error message, it's clearly
Yeah.
shown like, yeah, same it will show, right? This package is not installed. Please install this package and continue the installation. Similar.
Like it shows the log file, right? Like how can we know we can open the log file and to check what is the process.
So in the Linux level, if you go to the /var log file, so you will get the /var temp. So this is the installation is running now. That's why you can see the HDB inst HDB LCM, so the files are created. So if you open any one of the log file, then you can see the what's exactly happening here. So what is the error message we are getting here? So all these things it will create it. So what is the binary it got missed? What is the file it is looking? That file is not exist. That file is related to the which binary. So which package. So all the information it will be recorded. That's why this is a log file here. It is a log file. So that's it will clearly tell. Also, you showed the error message. In that error message itself, there like clearly there is a the file like INSSRV it does not exist, something like that. That is means that is the binary that is not exist. That is the binary. So that's why. So again, we installed now. Now itself we have installed in this folder. So you can see
So
right
beyond
here.
to all, beyond to all this, first this mission it needs to register with Red Hat, right?
Yes, we have to do that. Otherwise, we have to manually download it. Yeah, the open
So in
source.
organization, by default, it will be registered.
They will purchase the subscription, right, for the Linux. They will purchase. Why? Because they are purchasing the OS mains. So definitely they will purchase the subscription as well. So definitely they will, this when the softwares automatically they will get from the repository. For our case, so we don't have anything here. Like we are using the open source. So that's the reason. So we are getting this error. This one. We are getting and we are installing manually. Other we can download it as well. So we have downloaded it as well. Now how we automatically we installed. We given the package name itself here. See here in the initial screen. If you open the initial screen here, yeah, you can see here. So GCC, the GCC is saying that it's already installed. The highest version is already installed in our system. Okay, fine. But when yesterday we got this error, INS SRV, this error, this package you got it right. You send the screenshot.
Yes.
In that screenshot,
Yes,
I found out that this package does not exist. Then today using the zipper command, so zipper install this package. Then zipper we will use for the installing the packages in the Linux level, so that it will load the repository. It's reading the packages from the repository. Then the following package is found, so that one new package is going to be installed. Do you want to continue? Yes. Then the package is installed. After the package is installed, then the HANA installation is going to happen now. See here, today I did not get any error now, but because the package installed, that step is passed now. Now we can see. So HANA database process starting. If the processor started means almost that installation is done. So here HANA process like compile server, daemon, name server. Yeah. So these are the database related process. So family members, each process there is a responsibility that we will discuss in our regular classes. What is the each process will do? Suppose if something goes wrong in the HANA, so where to check and what to check here. So when the HANA database installing here, it will click the 7 core process. It will create it, right? One is the index server. The second one is the name server and pre-processor. These are the very important interview point of time. They may ask you questions like what are the 7 process will be created. So pre-processor, compile server, so
web dispatcher, daemon,
access engine. At the last we have the daemon. So daemon. So this 7 process mandatory it will create in the during the installation. So in the 7 process, which one will be in the system? By default, we will get the 2 databases now. One is the system DB and second one is the tenant DB. You will create it. So if you want to create the one more database, you no need to install it. Suppose if you need the one more database, you need to install it. Same as like in the so 1.0, you have to install it. Again, you need the softwares and you have to install it. Instead of that, so you can create the tenant databases. You can create the multiple tenant databases we can create it. Sir, why we are creating only tenant databases, not the system DB? System DB, there is no data, there is no functionality. All applications, all SAP applications will connect to the tenant database only, not the system databases. It connect to the tenant database only. Why? Because actual business data stores into the tenant databases. Why? Because in the tenant databases we have so index server. One is the main. So index server in the tenant database we have the index server. In the tenant databases we have the index server and the access engine. These two process will be in the source tenant DB. Each tenant DB you will get the two process, and system DB you will get the remaining five process in the so in the system DB. So actual data stores, where the actual data stores, the which are coming from application, which are coming from the business users are doing the transactions, where it will store in the database level, it will store in the database level. If I go step before, in the database level, where in the system DB, sorry, tenant DB, in the database level, tenant DB it will store. If you go one step deeply, in the tenant DB, where in the index server, in the index, all the data resides into the index server only. Index server is the main process in the database. That's why we will call it as the father of the database. So all the data stores, all the data resides, all the calculations, everything will happen in the index server only. That index server is available in the tenant DB. So application will connect to the tenant DB only, not the system database. Then what is the use of the system DB means, that I will explain it. So in our regular classes. So usage means, if I go, so tell one or two words, system DB will monitor the tenant databases. So which is located in the ground floor. In the ground floor, we have the, if suppose if you go to the apartment concept, in the ground floor, we have the owner. In the first floor, we have the tenants are available. First floor, 10, second floor, 10, third floor, we all the tenants are available. So what is the responsibility of the, so owner means the person, he will monitor the all the tenants maintenance activities, everything he will do. So if you want to go directly talk to the tenant, first you need to go to the owner, means system DB. You have to request the permission, then you have to talk to the system DB. So basically, if you want to handle the tenant DB, system DB is required here. System DB cannot directly deal the tenant databases. Same as like here. So one unknown person is coming. If you want to directly talk to the your tenant, so first you have to go or talk to the owner, then only you have to talk to the system tenant DB. So here also same concept. You cannot directly touch the system DB. Sorry, tenant DB. First you need to touch the system the ground floor, then tenant DB we have to touch it out. So everything can be handled by the system DB only for the tenant related. But actual data resides into the, who will give the rents to us? Tenant DB, right? Tenants. So here also actual data resides into the tenant DB only. So that, so tenant DB means index server. So index server is the main process here. All the data resides, everything will be in the, so in the tenant DB only, tenant DB only. Tenant DB only, all the data will resides here. So then what about the next one? How it will be resided? How to monitor SAR means, that I will explain it now. So I think again, so installation got failed. See here, installation got failed. Cannot start the system. So cannot start the system. Almost the package done. While starting the installation, it's not running. Daemon is not running. So check the log file, saying that logs are written into this log file. Just open this log file. So why? So I executed the more command to see what is happening in the database level. Why? See here. So here everything is okay. Cleaning up the production chain, that is fine. Installation failed. Why means the start instance on the SAP HANA worker node failed. the daemon service is not starting here. Daemon service is not starting here. So which means we need to check so whether our database IP is pinging or not. Okay, database is pinging here. Then what next? What went wrong? Again, we can retry. When you retry, I am just have so it won't start from the scratch where it got failed. It will start from this phase, that phase. Suppose here resume the pending installation. Installation got failed in the one step, starting the services, starting the system. So if I use the one command again, it will start from where it got stopped. It will resume from where it got stopped. So it will resume it basically. It won't start from the start. So resuming from the pending to install it. Then what is the password here? So just I'm giving the password here. System password.
Ravi, I didn't understand this system admin passwords, the database users, the whole thing.
When you install the Windows operating system, you will get the one administrator user, right?
Yeah.
Right? You are correct, right? But when you
Correct.
install the SAP also you will get the some passwords. When you're installing the database also you will get the one OS password, that is called the SID ADM user password you will get. The same time, that is the database level OS level password, DB OS level passwords. This is for the to do the operations, to do the admin operations of the database at operating system level. Operating system level, if you want to stop the database, if you want to start the database, if you want to do something deletion, so something like you need to do from this SID ADM user only, not from your own users. Okay.
Okay, that will be created automatically, right? When we install this.
Yeah, you are following, right? The same video you are following, right? So enter the creation of the video, enter the passwords of the user, everything. Why? Because those users are getting created. That's why. So these users are getting created. These users are getting created. So without these users are getting created, how can we log in? How can we log into the system and do our operations? So we cannot log in and do the operations. So that's the reason these users are mandatory. It will create it. The second user is called the DB admin user. So database level. This is the database OS level user. This is the database admin user to monitoring the databases. To monitoring the database, the system user will be created. That is called the system user. So database level. For databases, we have to monitor not only OS level monitoring. OS level is only for installations, updates, about any folders creation, everything. Apart from that, we have the tools like, so for monitoring the HANA databases, you have the tools like HANA Studio, HANA Cockpit. So when you are using the HANA Cockpit, so which user we will connect to the database? You cannot use the operating system level user, that is the OS level user. You need the DB admin user. So for database level admin user. So that's why one system user is getting created during the installation. For HANA, two users are creating. One is the OS user, second one is the DB admin level user.
But we are not creating any username and password, right? By default, it is creating everything. The password.
Not the password. Naveen, if you are following this one, see here, it is asked the passwords, right? Maybe
Have you typed the passwords?
We typed the passwords, right? We typed the passwords. You see, we typed it is asking the SID ADM password and everything. We typed the password. Let me show you once again. Yeah.
Actually, we don't visible that password. So
password, that's what. Naveen, you know, right? Linux, basically the passwords, it won't visible.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm a bit confused here. So, sorry.
See here, when we are doing the installation, see here, confirm the SAP ADM password. Then we have to provide the password. Enter the system administrator password. We have entered the password. Confirm the password. So we have entered the password, right? Enter the system administrator password. Then we have entered the password. So enter the password, confirm the passwords. We have entered all these things. See here in this step, we have entered all these things we have entered.
Okay, in interview they will ask these questions also. What type of accounts?
That is the main important question they may ask. What are the users will create during the installation? What are the users are getting created during the installation? So system for DB admin user and operating system, that is called the SID ADM user will be created. So that's why if the topic is important, definitely I will highlight that point actually. So it's a common interview question or frequently asked question, this type of things. So what are the what is meant by 1.0, 2.0 difference? 1.0 is the single container, 2.0 multi-container. Multi means one system DB, one tenant DB. Means G+1 will be created. So can I install multiple tenants on the one host? Yes, that is possible in the HANA 2.0. What is the limit? 100? No. What is the limit here? Up to 19 DBs you can install it. Same like when you are building the constructing an apartment, you have the floors restrictions, right? Up to 19 floors or 18 floors or 20, something like that. Same as like here also 19 tenant databases we can create it.
Okay. Will you show this also multi-tenant also?
19.
Already it is done.
What is the usage of creating the 19 tenant databases?
No. It is two tenant databases.
Yeah. We have to do we have to do the administration part, right? We have to connect that one tenant databases. Yeah. Okay. I will show you that one. I will show you. Don't worry. We have the two tenant databases. So that two tenants. So we will create it here. So how to connect to the system DB and how to connect to the tenant DB. So what are the processes are there in the system DB? What are the processes are there in the system DB, tenant DB? So what is the exact usage of the system DB? Where the data resides in that tenant DB, HANA index server, all these things we will discuss. This is the HANA Studio, right? This is the HANA Studio, where we will all connect to the we will connect to the all our databases. We will add to the HANA Studio. We will do all the admin work from here. From here onwards, you don't need HANA like a Linux level access. Once you perfect in the installation, you don't need access to so you don't need. Why? Because everything we have to do the administration work from the HANA Studio level. Studio is the one of the tool to monitor the HANA databases. So that here we have to add the systems. While adding the system, it will show, are you doing the 1.0 or 2.0? 2.0. Then are you connecting to the system DB or tenant DB or system DB? So you have to add it like this. So there is a difference while adding to the here as well. So that we will get. So first get the perfect on the installation. Then we'll see. Okay. So here it is not starting. Daimon is not starting due to some blockers, I think here. This all troubleshooting text you will get. So don't worry about this troubleshooting. You will get how to do the troubleshooting and everything.
Sir, hi sir, good morning. This is Parimala sir.
Yes, Parimala.
Yeah, could you please again explain about the scale out and scale up scenario, sir, once again?
Okay. So here it is unsupported file system. PTRFS, unsupported file system. Almost installation is done, but this Linux, the file system is so BTRFS file system, non-supported file system. So SAP, the recommended file system types, like yesterday we created for Red Hat Linux, we created ext4, right? The same as like for the SUSE Linux also, we have the XFS file systems type. Type is required here. So this is the XFS file systems, right? So this is so type is not matching here. So that's there. So almost installation is done, but so daemon process is not starting. Installation almost completed. So only the daemon starts, then everything will be finished. But only thing is here, daemon is not starting due to some unmounted emergency dump is generated. So we'll see the why emergency dump. We can see everything we can monitor actually in the system. This is a open SUSE actually. I installed for practice purpose. I think this is not getting to work here, but still you can practice it. So that's not a problem.
So in real time, no one will use this SUSE Linux, right? Mostly they will use like CentOS or this one Linux.
Yeah, but in my case, yes, most of the people they will use the SUSE Linux one, not the Red Hat Linux as such. SUSE Linux one. I worked with so
No,
many
real time, sir.
real time only. I'm telling real time only. In my case, most of the members they will use the SUSE Linux only. In my one project, we have the 560 SUSE Linux servers are there. Like that, we have the many customers in our company. All they will use the SUSE Linux only. So not only here in one project, there we have the 560
Based on the project.
based upon the project.
Yeah. Okay.
So suppose if I take the one more customer, they all are using the Red Hat Linux only.
Okay.
It depends. Either SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux. Most of the time, so they will use the SUSE Linux only. Maybe their license wise or cost wise, I'm not sure, but they will use this one only. That's not a problem. Let me check. You asked the question, right? So what is the scale up and scale out? So here in HANA, we have the two scenarios, scale up and scale out. So scale up means small word, scale plus up, which means in existing you have already installed the HANA database. You have on this one, you have already installed the HANA database. So in single host, you have already installed the HANA database. Suppose you have the memory issue. What you will do? You will just uplift the memory. Suppose you have here 500 GB, you have installed it. Tomorrow there is a memory issue. Then what you will do? You will just increase the memory. You are just increasing the memory on the existing system. You are just scale up. You are just upping the scale means, scale means that one, scale plus up. You are just increasing the existing system, scale up. Okay. Scale out means you have installed the system here. So then that is called the master node. Then you can also install the HANA host in the different node, distributed, like that what we discussed here, distributed. So which means multiple hosts you are installing, one HANA database you are installing, that will be distributed into the across the other two systems as well, so that whenever there is a so that load will be distributed. Most of the time BW system, BW we have the warehouse data. So warehouse data means, so it may take a lot of them. Why? Because they will pull the like last 10 years, 15 years data, they will pull from the HANA database. Normal our ECC transactional systems, it won't sufficient. So they will pull from the BW system. So that when the user initiates the query to pull the data from, it will distribute the load into the all the systems. All the three hosts will distribute the load. Then they will get the results here. They will get the results. They will get the results here. So that's the reason. They have this concept actually. That is the reason they have this concept, like scale out concept. Scale up means the existing system you are uplifting. Scale out means you are building the one more OS with minimum RAM, minimum file systems. Then you are adding to this one. In SAP level, how we are adding the additional application servers, same as like instead of existing system, you are increasing the resources. You can create the one more host with RAM, with memory, with file systems, network, everything. Then you are adding to the here, so that all the host will take the load, then will distribute it. That is called the scale out architecture. Scale up means single system you are installing, single OS you are installing the HANA database. That is called the scale up. So I think during the installation time we got this one, scale up and scale out, same.
Thank you, sir.
So what about scaling? It won't come. So if the load is very less minimal, so it won't delete the host automatically.
No, it won't delete it. So automatically it won't do anything actually. So if that depends upon the load, we are trying to increasing the so scale. If the load is less, the memory usage also very less, right? So then if you want to reclaim the memory, if you want to decrease the memory, suppose you have 1 terabyte RAM increased, you are not expected, but load is only 250 GB is using, remaining 750 GB is free. Why the 750 GB I am allocating to here? I can decrease, right? Then one day I can stop the SAP applications and everything. Then infra team or hardware team, they will remove the RAM 1 terabyte RAM slot. Then so they will they will remove the RAM slot. Then then they will increase the one more RAM slot with like 250 GB. They will ask a SAP team to start the database application. Then we will start it.
Okay.
Why? Because
yeah,
the servers are in the client place. So servers are in the client place. So that there we have definitely there is some hardware team or infrastructure team is available. If it is the cloud, we can do by our own. Why? Because in the cloud we have the console. So directly we can log into the console. There is a RAM usage. So instead of 1 terabyte, just there is a number, you can change it directly. Just you can change the number to 1 terabyte to 250 GB. You can change it. Then automatically your usage will be reduced. But
so we can't delete the host, sir. Like you scale out, right? Scaling, we don't have that.
Scale up, we don't have multi-host concept. Scale out, we have the multi-host concept. Suppose you install the one node and one more host. Tomorrow there is no load, then you can delete it. This node, you can delete it.
Okay, manually it is not automatical.
Not automatical. Everything is manual.
Okay. Because in cloud, right? In cloud, in AWS, we have auto scaling, we have load balancer concept. So I'm just comparing to that.
Okay. But here,
based on the CPU utilization, it will increase the instances.
Okay. So here CPUs will be increased, right?
Correct. More than 70%, we need to spin up like 2 or 3. We need to define in the launch configuration.
Here not the CPU's concept, DB concept, right? Databases, which means we have to DB team, like basis team, have to take the manual action here. Either you have to increase or stopping. That we have to do the assessment. So the load is very high. So take the 1 month, 2 months training. It's a very high. So the team, like client team, decided to add the one more host. Then you can add the one more host to the here. That's why while doing the installation, do you want to add the additional host to the system? Then we can add it. It will ask the main node. Then we can give the primary node that will come to the in the landscape.
Okay. If you are seeing like load is more, we can do it immediately, instantly. We can do.
Instantly means that depends upon the approval procedure. Approvals we have to take it.
Okay.
If the approvals, everything is client is okay, then your OS is ready, network is ready, file systems are ready, everything is ready. Immediately you can do and go ahead and install it. No one will stop you. Okay. But only thing is, if everything is ready, it will take time. Why? Because now it is open the Linux. If you hand over to that one. If you hand over the system to the infra team takes 2 days or 3 days to install the libraries, file system, mount points, all these things. They will take it and they will slowly hand over to you. Then after that, you have to do all the downloading the software preparations work. You have to do it and you have to start the installation, right? So it depends often the human manual inputs actually.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you urgency, the infra team also very ready.